today we're on a mission to discover what Bardstown Bourbon's doing these days.
I mean, you're getting progressively worse. Like, first you sang during birthday song, now you're going to discover. I hate to see what you're going to do for the next one.
Well, we'll see. It'll be a good time.
I know which the next one we're getting ready to record, so I'd hate to see what that's going to be.
Well, we're going to find out. So you'll know the progression as we go through this, how we recorded these.
Awful. Just awful.
Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to review the Bardstown Discovery 12. The much anticipated Bardstown Discovery 12.
Sure.
I mean, it is. It's much anticipated.
I think I was the one that was excited about trying it because I was the last one.
You were
in our little group of friends who got to try it. So
I have tried it from an actual bottle of it. I had tried it just straight from the barrel once.
I think you literally tried it from the vat, from the barrel, from the hands that produced the product.
Listen, if
Steve, you're still my best friend.
If Steve put it in his hands and poured it in, I would take it because Steve's our best friend.
No, he's my best friend.
He's my best friend.
My best friend.
Steve, you're my best friend. We're going to talk this weekend while we're at the KVF.
We are.
You know
we're on party with Steve this weekend, so it's going to be great.
That's right.
While
you talk about it.
Is that your Glenn from last time?
I don't know. Is it? Oh, it might be. Here, let's switch it out. Boop.
He's about ready to dirty up Disco 12 birthday bourbon.
I'll be like, this did not taste right.
Good save on my part. Thank you.
It is. Good. Thank you.
So a little bit about this bottle. This is 115.2 proof. This is between the ages of 6 to 14 years old. I believe all right. Let me back up here.
I kind of heavy poured that one on myself. Sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I am. I didn't mean to do it that much.
The Bardstown stuff is 6 years old. Then there's 3 other mash bills from Kentucky. I'm not going to read the actual mash bills, but one's 14, the other 2 are 10. Basically, what is believed to be true, I'd like to think that we're pretty correct with this statement, is the 14-year-old's Wild Turkey, and then the 2 10s, one is Jim Beam, one is Heaven Hill.
Maybe.
I'd like to think we're right. I imagine there is a certain writer out there that will get mad and quote us or do whatever and say it's just all Jim Beam. How do they know it would be Wild Turkey, or how do they know?
How do you know?
It could be Heaven Hill.
It could be. Could be all the things.
Could be. Anyways, this was $139.99. This is at the downtown location. They also have them at Bardstown at their gift shop. I'm going to tell you all right now, the rumor is there's not nearly as many of these as what there was Disco 11. So if you had an issue finding Disco 11, keep that in mind, because there's not as many of those there was way more of those than this Disco 12.
There is definitely not as much. I know the number, and
For a fact.
I do know the number, and it is definitely significantly less than Disco 11. So here's the deal. If you think you want this, if you see it drop, you want to pick it up, because
Agreed.
It's definitely not going to be readily available like some of the others.
Agreed.
Which I appreciate, because if you have an LE and you want it to be an LE, it doesn't need to be readily available.
You know, to give Bardstown some credit, those first 4 were really great. Some were better than others in that first 4, but they were really great. I think they decided to go back to all Kentucky products. And I think they also said, we're going to make sure all the whiskey going into is great. Whenever you have great whiskey, you tend to have less great whiskey.
Yeah.
So they decided, I think, just to make less of it, but to make it an exceptional quality.
Yeah.
So kind of got to give them a lot of credit for that.
I do. I give them credit for it. Hit the like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and tell us if it's in your area, because it dropped earlier in some areas. We've seen it in other people's hands already before it dropped in ours. It dropped in ours last Friday on the 6th of September.
Oh, trust me, I almost drove up to a certain spot up in Indiana to get it, just to prove a point.
Yeah. So just make you aware of that.
Oh, man.
There's a nice toasted oak.
Really quick before you start getting the notes, I'm assuming you're going to put somewhere in here like the breakdown of what the mash bill and everything was.
I could.
I think you should.
All right.
I think people like that.
Put it in the comments. Do you really like that, or do you care? I mean, you just want to know if it's good or not.
I care.
We don't care if he cares. We only care if you care. Put in the comments, do you want me to work harder or do you want me to work less?
Look, let me tell you all something, okay? This boy over here, /man, he ain't working hard for nobody unless it's a golf game or to find a certain allocated bourbon.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That's about it.
That's probably true.
All right, let me take it back. He'd work hard for his kids.
Yeah. My wife, too.
Yeah, I'll say that, too. As long as your kids aren't being jerks.
Yeah, that's true. They're old enough to be jerks, so that's what happens. There is a nice oaky, oakiness. There's a nice vanilla cream, vanilla-y kind of smell in there that I really, really like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like this. I like the smell of this.
So
I'm curious to what it's. So
whenever I first fresh cracked this open, now, as y'all can tell by my beautiful voice right now, I'm getting over being sick on vacation, so I'm good, just my voice is still a little hoarse.
I mean, basically, you could take the place of James Earl Jones, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
As the new voice of Darth Vader. You could do it.
I bet you that would really upgrade me into a different tax bracket.
You know what I did here? Like, this is so different. He signed an agreement for them to AI his
they
voice.
can?
Yeah.
Oh, so his state's probably getting paid.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's smart. Smart on his. I mean,
yeah.
You know, I get that.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, we just nerded out on you a little bit.
I can talk Star Wars all day long, or the lack of good quality Star Wars right now.
Hey, so I had this the other night. I had this last Friday night at a Bardstown event.
Yeah.
Where it was paired with bourbon braised pork cheeks, and it was unbelievable.
So going back to Disco 12 really quick, whenever I first got this, I cracked it open. I thought it was good, but I felt like everything about it was kind of like tight still. Just a little bit of airtime, like a week and a half of airtime. It's night and day different.
You sampled it out a bit too.
I've sampled it out a little bit, but like
sure.
It is night and day different how much it's opened up.
Yeah.
Just on the nose. Because here's what I'm going to say about the nose. Last year's Disco 11, I just thought screamed wild turkey in so many different ways. This is so balanced between a couple distilleries.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't have one that pops open. And I'm going to be honest with you, what's crazy is we just got done reviewing birthday bourbon. Drinking this is what the birthday bourbon nose should be. That fruit.
Yeah.
There's so much dark fruit on there. There's so, like, it's creamy, it's fruity.
Yeah.
It's so nice, warm, and welcoming to that. And I'm like, man, that really should have been that birthday bourbon.
Yes. Can we taste this yet?
You can do whatever you want to do.
Well, I just didn't want
We're
to
sitting
get
here
too
talking
far.
about Star Wars and events.
I didn't want to get
else.
too far ahead of you.
There's also a nice like oak presence in there as well. But honestly, what I like about the nose is it's very fruity, very dark fruit, baked fruit, like stuff like that. It's just so much fruit just hitting you.
But it has, like, on the first drink, it just has that wild turkey. Has that wild turkey little, it's not spice. It has that wild turkey kind of woody taste to it that makes wild turkey, like right on it. And you can just feel it in there. Feel it in there.
I don't even know what that.
Like an amped up version of
He's like twitching over here.
Like an amped up version of a rare breed, but also mixed with some other
I think
things.
this is like way. I don't want to say it's way different, but like.
No, I'm just talking.
Are you talking like this, like the wood oak spice from that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not talking about the taste. I'm talking because when you drink wild turkey, there's just this little woody feel to it that comes right on the palate of it, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot. There's a little bit of spice on the backside of that too.
Yeah, I think this is awesome.
Yeah, this is good.
Well, let me go back to this. Again, a ton of fruit. I agree with you with the oak influence on there. You get some of this funky oak but then you get this really awesome like oak spice that just pops on it.
Yeah. I
And
agree
it
with
carries the whole way through your palate to your finish. Mm-hmm. The finish punches up. I mean, it's just really incredible. I mean, it's really nice. Like I don't want to say it's simple because it's not simple, but there's not a ton of complexity on it. But the mouthfeel of it is to the extreme of things. Like you just get so much on your palate that's going on. It's really good.
Yeah.
And that fruit on there, man, it's just like the best kind of fruity.
See, coming back to it,
on it,
getting to this third drink of it, the fruit really pops on that.
Yeah, that
drink.
red fruit really
pops on the third drink. There's a little caramel, maybe vanilla on that too, kind of right in there.
Like a vanilla creamer.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
This is really good. I'm really disappointed it took me this long to try it.
It tastes different I feel like it tastes different than I tasted it.
Because I think it's opening up.
Yeah.
Like I really do think
like
it's opening
at the
up
event,
a lot.
I don't know how long they had. They probably just popped them open.
They probably
just popped them open and stuff like that. So it probably didn't have room to breathe completely on it. So as you think through this, and obviously you don't have to give me your answer, but like thinking back to Disco 11 and you're thinking about this one, like which one do you feel like is gonna be? I feel like Disco 11 was super special. I feel like this is really, really good too, and it could be special. Mm-hmm. I'm just not sure yet.
Love both of them. I don't know which one I'm gonna like better. We'll bourbon battle this and we'll figure it out.
Spoiler alert.
But here's my initial thought. If you're a big Wild Turkey fan, I think you're gonna like Disco 11 more. I think if you're not as big of a Wild Turkey fan, you're gonna like Disco 12 more.
But I still feel like you get more of the Wild Turkey woody spice feel at the front end of it.
Well, it's almost 50% Wild Turkey. It's 48% Wild Turkey.
I feel like you get that more so than you get out of that.
I mean, maybe like we're not talking about these two bottles.
Just from what I remember, I feel like this has that front end Wild Turkey taste that this one didn't. I feel like Wild Turkey shone through, like on the palate and on the finish on this one in some ways. So I'm going to be curious too. I'm not sure which one I'm going to like better either, but I'm sure going to willing to drink them and find out.
We got a great problem.
Yeah,
so stay tuned.
It is a great problem.
We'll drop that bourbon battle this week.
Yeah.
Obviously, Disco 12 is worth it.
Yeah. At $139, it's worth it. Pick it up, buy it, try it at a bar if you feel like you need to. But I think you're going to be pleasantly, you're going to enjoy what you drink, and don't spend too much time thinking about whether you want to buy it or not, because I think you'll miss the opportunity to buy it.
Yeah. And the good thing is they have went down in price. They were like one point in time like 150 something. Now they're only 139, which I know is not cheap, but still. Yeah,
but for their LE, like that's what it's like. That's a good price point for their LE. So
agreed.
I think that. So tell us if you've had it. Tell us if you've tried it somewhere. Tell us if it's dropped in your area. We love to hear that kind of stuff. So and until next time,
we'll see you.
We'll see you.